Thumbs up. Getting it? Good. Payment of wages. Ashley decided to pay all of these lovely people that she has hired, plus pay herself, right? So you're going to write your payroll checks for $650. Pay people for the time that they have already worked. So that is in the past, right? So that means it is an expense. Wages expense. So I need to add another little expense guy in here somewhere if I can possibly put it in. I'm thinking this is probably not going to be a good idea to put this on the web. Look at this board. Nobody's going to be able to understand it but you. So as an expense here we have wages expense, right? Wages expense is on which side of my umbrella?
Left.
To the left. So it's going to increase on
The left.
the left.
Under debit.
Also, left means
Debit.
debit. And if I paid $650, that means I paid more in wages. But yes, those wages are going to be minusing from my capital, right? So I'm adding that up. I've got $650 that's coming out there. And what happened to my cash?
Went down by
It's going
$650.
down, and it's going down by $650. So if I look at this one, I have a $650 credit, and I have a $650 debit. I also have $650 that went down on this side of the equal, and I have $650 that will eventually be going down on that side as well. Because all of these guys are attached with a bunch of cord to that right there. Okay? You good? Let's do another one of those that takes more than 2 accounts. How about deliveries that were made for $1,050, but you only collected $430 in cash? What do you do for deliveries?
You have to put it in your revenue either
Deliveries
way.
is going up or is it going down?
Up.
Your revenue is going up because you've already performed the service. So it's going up by that amount, right? So after it's gone up by that amount, if I only collected $430 from my customers in cash, what happens to cash?
Go up
Cash is
$430.
going up by how many dollars? $430, right? And cash is an asset. Assets are on the left of the equal. Meaning it's going to go up on the left, and left means
Debit.
debit. $430. Are we good? Does that 430 equal that 1,050?
No.
It does not, does it? So the rest of it, then, I'm going to put here in accounts payable, right?
No, you're going to put it in accounts receivable.
Receivable.
You better not let me put that in accounts payable. I made these deliveries. I do not intend to pay for them too. That's payable. That's me doing the paying. I'm not paying for the deliveries, right? Where's it going to go? It's going to go into the receivables because I'm going to be receiving this money later. How much money am I receiving later? $620. Did my accounts receivable go up or did it go down?
Up.
It went up. It's to the left of my equal sign because receivables are an asset. That means it's going to increase on the left, and left means what?
Debit.
Debit. So I'm going up 600. How much?
620.
$620.
$620 on the left. So now if I look at that, I have a credit for, and I have, where did I go?
430.
2 debits. 430 and 620. So if I added my 2 debits together, would they equal my credit?
Yes.
And that's called a compound entry. Okay, because it's more than 2. It's multiple. Are you with me still? You feeling pretty good? The last one we'll do, we'll let Ashley, she's going to have to go have a massage and a mani-pedi after this.
That sounds good.
Not. And she's going to, at this point, take $150 out just because it's just time for the weekend, okay? So when she does that, she doesn't just whip it out of cash and put it as a miscellaneous expense, does she? Because she's not going to mix personal and business. So instead, she's going to indicate that she drew this money out of her company for something other than her company business. So what's going to happen to cash? Cash is going down by $150. And what will happen to drawing? Drawing is going up because she drew more out, right? Now let's look at that one again because it involves one of these little weird guys over here, right? This one went down on the left. Even though this has a plus on it, it's attached to what? So it's going down on this side as well. I have a debit for $150 and I have a credit for $150. So I should be in balance, shouldn't I? Yes. Questions? Make sense? Makes a little bit better sense? I hope. A lot? Lots better sense, doesn't it? Okay. All right. Now, as we are looking at this, if I wanted to go through on these little T accounts and do that foot and balance thing that we were talking about earlier, how would I do this one? What would be my foot and balance here? This is a 0, right?
Yes.
And I would just add these up. Does that sound good? And that would be my balance then would be whatever that is, which is what? Is that right?
Yes.
What about this one? What about accounts payable? What would be my balance here? That would be 21 and 3. So I would take the difference between these two. Is that correct?
Yes.
And then my balance then would be what? 1,800? Okay, that's my balance. I'm going to write my balance on, it'll always be on the high side, whichever the high side is of your foot, you see? So now I want to point out something that's going to be called a normal balance for these accounts. And we'll just use this accounts payable as a good example. Payable means that's money that I owe as the business owner, right? I'm supposed to be the one doing the paying. You never really want to pay more than you owe, do you?
No.
So very seldom is the balance going to be over here. That means you paid more than you owe, right? In fact, you really would like for that to be 0. But if it's over here and you've paid more than you owe, then obviously you're going to be going back and saying, I think I paid you too much money. I need some of my money back. So the normal balance for accounts payable is on the credit side. Does that make sense? Okay, now let's look over here under revenue. Normal balance side is going to be on which side? On the credit side.
Yes.
Normally the balance is going to be where this plus is. The only time you're going to have a negative here is if I wrote down 10,500 and I meant to write down 1050 and I'm having to fix it. Because otherwise it's going to be coming in on this side. What about over here under delivery equipment? And I think Ashley said that one a while ago. That would be decreasing when I sold it, right? But otherwise, the normal balance is going to be on the plus side. Let's look at cash. And I'm not going to attempt to try to add that up in my head, but if I did a footer on this one, I would add this side, right?
Yes.
I would add this big long thing here. And I'm hoping that this side's bigger than this side, aren't I?
Yes.
So the balance side is going to be on which side? Hopefully. The normal balance side, are you listening to me? Will be on the plus side. Do you see how this is on the plus side? This is on the plus side. This is on the plus side. Okay, normally. So this is going to be something that's important to you when you're looking at this and you're saying, I don't know what I did. This is Tuesday with Miss Herod. I don't know how to fix this. And you're looking and you've got a balance for cash that's on the debit, it's on the credit side. That means you're overdrawn. So, you're really overdrawn in your account, or you've written something down incorrectly. If this is over here on the debit side, you've written something down incorrectly, at this point especially. Is that making perfectly good sense to you guys? So normal balance side is the plus side. Okay, the last thing that Chapter 3 introduces to us is called a trial balance. And a trial balance, obviously you see what a mess this board looks like, right? After you've come up with your balance on every one of these accounts, and we're going to take all of our accounts and we're going to see if when I list all of my balances down for every single account that's written on this board, do all of my debits equal all of my credits? And I want to make sure that that's the case, because before I start on my financial statements, I want to make sure that I didn't forget to write down some number up here. Okay? That's really, really important. Now, it could be that it's the wrong number that you're balancing to, because if I had written down $200 instead of $1,200 here, and I had also done it on the opposite side, $200 instead of $1,200 here, I would balance. My debits would still equal my credits, because I made that same mistake on both sides. Okay? So that will probably happen to some of you in your Cengage Now things. You're saying, I don't get it. I mean, it looks like I'm all my debits equal all my credits, but it's not balancing. Go back and look and double check. 1,500, 1,500. Make sure that you wrote down the exact amount that those transactions were, because sometimes that's where it happens. And I tend to transpose numbers anyway, and you may do that as well. The trial balance is going to look something like this. It's not going to be very clear on here. It is in your ebook. But I wanted to just give you a quick view of what it looks like. Maybe. Try to make it a little bit bigger. The name of the company, the name of this statement, the date of this statement, and then it's going to list all of my accounts and separate them, debit and credit. These are the balances at the bottom. So you can see that cash has a debit balance. Accounts receivable has a debit balance. So you're going to be able to look at this fairly quickly. And in fact, if you were able to look, right here is capital. Here's my drawing, my revenue, my expenses. Can you draw that little, you see your umbrella?
Yeah.
Can you see it visually there? So you know that the things that are on this side of my umbrella are on the left. The things that are on this side of my umbrella are on the right. Can you see it? Now, the order that this is going to go in is it will always start out all of your assets and then your liability. Then you're going to stick capital with drawing stuck right next to it. Then you'll follow that with your revenue, and your expenses will be listed last. Okay? But that's what it looks like when you get to the bottom of this. Of course, your two sides should equal. You'll also notice in your book, as you're looking through, that anytime you're doing some kind of a statement like this, you'll draw a single line. They call those a rule, R-U-L-E, not like a rule, like a procedure rule, but a line rule, like a ruler, before you add. And then your total will follow that, and there will be a double rule underneath your totals, indicating that it's a total number. And you'll be seeing that. That's also something that's very common in your accounting work. Any questions about your trial balance? You see why you need it? Excellent. Okay, I want to say one more thing before I do that. In your ebook, you're going to have something that you'll be really pleased to see. Guess what that is?
What we just did?
That's what we just did. Looks a little nicer. Yes, it does. Looks a lot better, doesn't it? And that's going to be towards the end of Chapter 3, because in Chapter 3 it's going to be those exact transactions that we went over today. It's not using Ashley's name, it's using Damon, I think. But those exact transactions, you can look at your ebook and you can follow through each of them and see. You see my $2,000 in cash? Are you recognizing them as you go? they footed. There's my 2 feet, and there's my balance is over here on this side. So this is a nice, easy way of looking at what you've got on your scratch pad of paper at the end. The other wonderful thing about your chapter is that at the very end, after these sections, and I'll go ahead and show that to you as well, you're going to have a demonstration problem. This will make you dizzy. Sorry, shut your eyes. Okay, it's a demonstration problem. And it says, here's this chart of accounts, here's all of my assets, liabilities. This one added a liability, by the way. That would be something that you owe, not to a business, but to a bank, a note payable. Here's my capital and drawing that are stuck together. And then I've got my revenue and all of my expenses. And then it lists all of these transactions. So if you want to go home and practice, take out a slip of paper, just like we did today, put assets equal liabilities plus owner's equity, and start doing these as you're going through. Because the wonderful part about this is that the next page over, guess what you have? You've got the answers. So you can see if you did it correctly by looking at these answers of this demonstration problem at the end, okay? So not only do you have the ones that we did in class today, you also have this demonstration problem that's at the very end of your chapter. All right. I'm going to go backwards one, so once again, shut your eyes because this will make you dizzy. I want to look at this. Do you think from this information on this board that you would be able to do our 3 financial statements?
No.
Our 3 financial statements I covered in the video, the very last video of last week. But I want to touch base on them one more time tonight. Tell me what time it is. I know I haven't given you guys a break and I have no air either, but
It's 8 o'clock.
is it 8 o'clock?
It's about 7:30.
7:30. Andrew.
Oh, I'm going by that
This
broken
feels
thing
like
up
it's
there.
8 o'clock. Okay.
I'm
All
going by the
That's going
broken.
to really make you easy, but I'm going to erase this board, okay? As quickly as I can.
Jesus. I'm so excited.
That's what happens when you try to tell time with consistency clock.
Well, yeah, I know, but I thought it was just the hour hand that was messed up. It's everything. The whole clock is just.
We just did a new clock.
Yeah.
I think
We definitely need a new
need to
It
clock.
is nearly 7 on that
We
clock.
definitely need
or
a
we
new
could just
clock.
go trade it out from another classroom when nobody's here tonight.
There we go. Okay. I know you can't see all of this, and you probably can't see that top part on that video.